And a new ABC News Washington Post poll shows some struggles for Democrats and President Biden. According to the poll, 64% of Americans broadly reject the U.S. Supreme Court ruling eliminating the constitutional right to an abortion, and that Americans trust Democrats more than Republicans on that issue. But the poll also shows the economy overall and inflation specifically rank higher for voters in terms of importance, and those issues work strongly in Republicans' favor. ABC News political reporter Brittany Shepard joins me live now for more on all this. Brittany, how are politicians navigating this kind of mixed landscape heading into the midterms?
Well, it's so interesting, Diane. Up into the run-up of the repeal of Roe versus Wade, Republicans on the road and in D.C. were really eager to talk about how willing they were to throw Roe versus Wade on the ash heap of history. I think principally former Vice President Mike Pence leading that charge. But now Republicans are very gun-shy to talk about it at all. I was just in Pittsburgh on Friday with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who unveiled his new agenda for the party in about, was it 6 weeks to the midterms here? There was just, I think, a paltry 7 words on abortion about how to protect the life of the unborn and the mother. And when I and other reporters pressed him and other members of the House caucus on what they want nationally, they were super, super vague, trying to demur as much as they can. You're hearing Mitch McConnell say that he wants abortion to be a state's issue, and Democrats are trying to capitalize and jump on that. President Joe Biden and member of Democratic leadership are hoping that abortion will animate Democrats and independent-leaning Democrats to show out to the polls. Something really interesting from this Washington Post ABC poll is that women voters now under 40 are now twice as likely to go to the polls in November following this Dobbs decision animated on abortion.
And what about the economy? How are Democrats dealing with that? According to this poll, 74% of people said the economy is in bad shape, and I think Republicans are beating by 16 points in that people trust Republicans to handle that more than Democrats. So how do Democrats face that?
Well, they're being walloped on the road, for sure. I think Democrats are really struggling to coalesce around a message of what they can do about inflation. I mean, they're trying to point to several legislative wins coming out of the White House that deal with the economy and, of course, very recently, the Inflation Reduction Act. But many of those wins just aren't sticking with voters and leaving Democrats basically trying to change the narrative as much as they can, saying that they hope that they can have a plan to reduce prices come November. But even if they can't do that, look at all the other things that we're getting done on climate, on abortion, and as many other wins that they can.
And Brittany, quickly, it seems there's a big push for a different candidate, not President Biden, for 2024. How realistic is that?
It's going to be really difficult to unseat an incumbent president when you have Democratic support, the DNC behind Biden, but there's a really large appetite, especially with voters under 30. I think it's about 75% of those voters want someone new. But I think that there's no real alternative right now for those voters, and I think the big question is, will they just abandon voting altogether?
All right, Brittany Shepard, we appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.